Here at the Farm Bureau Exposition Center is home to Music City Multicon. Located in Lebanon, Tennessee, just 30 minutes away from Nashville, Music City Multicon is another one of the many pop culture conventions for nerds to attend. While the Middle Tennessee Anime Convention focuses more on the anime-themed subject of pop culture and Nashville Comic-Con focuses on the comic-related subject, Music City Multicon is primarily themed around video games. That being said, while Music City Multicon includes vendors, guests, and cosplayers, the convention also includes a large assortment of video games. While the convention had their fair share of vendors selling video games, just next to the dealer room, a large half of the convention had many video games for all con-goers to play and enjoy. These video games include setups comprised of consoles such as the Sega Saturn, Nintendo Entertainment System, Sega Genesis, Xboxes, PlayStations, and more. There were also a large assortment of arcade games and pinball machines for people looking for a blast to the past. Music City Multicon had everything for all attendees, young and old, to enjoy and have fun. The convention also included vendors who handmade their own products to sell.
Hi, I'm Cassie, and I am the head alchemist at Pure Alchemy Soaps. We theme handmade soaps around the character creation process for fantasy role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder. We've done a lot of other stuff with Star Wars, Warhammer, etc. But you get to create your character here with us, choosing from your 3 soaps of your class, your race, and your alignment. And then we box those in a gift set personalized with your character's name. My 2 favorites. So the first one is the Alchemist. So that's a redwood, pear, juniper, and ginger. That's the fragrance blend that I actually made for myself. And then the other one I would actually go with the Neutral Evil. So that's a flowering tobacco. So it's got a deeper, headier floral with a Cuban tobacco base. And so that one I'm really proud of how that scent turned out too. And it's definitely one of my go-tos as well. So those are my 2 favorites.
During my time at the convention, I also had a chance to talk with a few attendees in regards to the con.
My name is Derek Gilbreth with Creative Mind Productions. I'm Principal Nezu of My Hero Academia.
So I am a custom version of Star-Lord. It's a kit bash between the MCU, hence the helmet, and the video game that came out for PlayStation 4 and 5 and Xbox and PC, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
I am cosplaying as Dad Bod Thor from Endgame.
Today I am my rendition of a witchy Nezuko Kamado from Demon Slayer.
So please tell us, how long have you been cosplaying?
That's about 10 years now, I guess. Yeah. So start off with Doctor Who characters, and then we got into My Hero and been doing it since then.
Now please tell us, what do you like about your personal cosplay?
This costume, I almost felt like I had to do it. I got the axe, the Stormbreaker axe from GameStop, and then when I looked at myself in the mirror with the long hair, the beard, and the dad bod, I was like, I gotta get the rest of the costume, and I'd already cosplayed for years beforehand, so it just felt right.
What do you like the most about cosplay?
Cosplay, the thing I like most about it is that you can always, no matter what, just take whatever you want and make it your own. A lot of my stuff is gender bent, so that's essentially I take male characters and make them female because it makes me more comfortable. And I just love that you have that option to do that with almost anything you can do.
My favorite thing about cosplay, particularly with My Hero Academia, is you see a lot of different groups that come through, and it's one of those cosplay is like multi-generational. So you'll have parents, and you'll have kids, and you'll have friends, all doing, like with My Hero, the entire family is Goku's family. You have mom and little kids and the whole group. So it's, in basically in cosplay as well, we're basically a family of different people who like to dress up and show off our costumes and show off our fandoms.
The thing that I love most about cosplay is probably the fact that as much as, it is fine to be, day to day, do your job, live your life, it's fun to every now and then step out of your life, step out of those shoes, become somebody else for a little bit, or just embody a character that you love or have a passion for. And whether it's, you're a Deadpool running around and, pointing at people and being like, hey, what's up, chimichangas? Or, Star-Lord. I went to Dragon Con this year for the first time ever and threw on Star-Lord, and something about me, like I can be shy sometimes, I can be personable, but the moment I threw on Star-Lord, I was running through the streets of Atlanta dancing, for like hours, and that is not something I ever expected. So just kind of embodies you after a little bit.
It's just nice to feel like yourself for a minute. Like other people say you do cosplay to take on a different character, to feel like you're somebody different. But sometimes when I feel like I'm dressing up normal, that feels more like the mask, you know what I mean? I feel like embodying some of my favorite characters is more who I really am.
What do you like about Music City Multicon?
Music City Multicon, having a combination of a video game con and our con, of Comic-Con, is a brilliant idea. The facility here is fantastic. Has lots of space, everything's very spaced out, and they have quite a mix of different vendors. Cons, my favorite thing of any cons, besides the cosplay, obviously, are vendors. And you see vendors from products that you would never see anywhere else, and that you know, collectibles and things that you couldn't get anywhere else.
So this is the second year I've come to Music City Multicon, and my helmet just decided to turn on and off. But it's great. I love it. All my friends come, so I've met up with a bunch of them and just kind of walk around and look at all of the nerdy and pop culture merch for sale, which is great because I can't get enough of that. It's my favorite stuff. I grew up with Spider-Man and Marvel and some DC as well and Star Wars, so this is ingrained in my blood.
This is my first time here, and I got to say, I'm really impressed. I've been in Tennessee for about 7 years now, and I've never seen like anything this size outside of Nashville. So to have this big of a con, this successful, just the size of it is probably what I like the best here in Lebanon.
What do you think is the most important thing about cosplay?
Most important thing is have fun. Do you, because what I have gone through is if you're not having fun and not doing something that makes you happy, it's gonna make your experience a little bad. So definitely the most important thing is have fun, be true to you, and don't listen to people that are gonna try and put you down, because no matter what, at the end of the day, cosplay is for everyone, and it is always amazing.
The most important thing, I mean, like, this might seem like something that everybody says, but just the way it brings people together. You know what I mean? If you're out and you see somebody wearing a t-shirt about something you love, like, at least for me, that's immediately licensed to go talk about that person about that thing. You don't have to worry about, like, oh, do they like the same things as I do? Are they the kind of person I'd like to hang out with? You know you have at least one thing in common when you see them wearing merch from something you like.
Most important thing about cosplay and conventions, everything along those lines, is it's for everybody. The fact that anybody can do cosplay, doesn't matter if you're short, tall, male, female, any other gender, or anything else. You can be whatever you want. And that's what's great about it, is the fact that, you know, I'm not blonde, but I made my hair blonde today for Star-Lord. I've got a beard, but when I do Spider-Man, I keep the beard most of the time. You know, it's the idea of anybody can be anything, and it's so accepting in that idea of, you know, you see somebody that a character that they're dressed up as that you love, and you want to go run over and say, how'd you do that? Did you buy that? Did you make that? And that's totally fine, either or, that whatever you do. If you buy elements, most of this I bought and then edited or like modded out myself, and just all that stuff with the idea of making new friends and communicating and just sharing a love for characters and fandom.
This year's Music City Multicon also hosted the Kumite, or KIT for short. The Kumite is an annual fighting game tournament and one of the most popular ones in Tennessee's fighting game community. The Kumite hosted fighting games such as Tekken 7, Guilty Gear Strive, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and more. This year's Kumite was actually the last, with it being titled the finale.
But most importantly, man, you have Ian running Kumite in Tennessee.
Yeah.
The last KIT.
Final one.
And we're here for it.
Yes.
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Overall, I just think we need a little bit of expansion. Like, Nashville itself is a growing city, so I hate to see that it's like only the outside of, like, the outskirts of that city that kind of get this type of representation. And the fighting game community as a whole has grown expeditiously over the past 5 years or so. Like, we have EVO competitions now, we have CEO and everything else in major cities, but this is like the only thing Tennessee really gets. So I think overall, everything we have here is perfect. It's just we don't have it enough. And I think that's just the only thing that needs to be kind of just boosted up overall.
What would you guys say is your favorite game to watch competitively, like a fighting game?
Ooh, man, go ahead. Go ahead, because I know what you're going to say.
So I'm personally going to say Tekken 7 is my favorite. But I'm the best at Street Fighter, but Tekken is probably, I like the layers and the strategy in Tekken way, way more than any other game that I've seen so far.
I'm gonna go way back then, and I'm gonna say Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Tekken for sure.
Yeah, for me, Tekken. Competitively, it's just so much fun to watch, so much, intricacies and everything to the game. Very, very hype.
Music City Multicon is an event that has everything for everyone and is a con where gamers, cosplayers, and artists can come together. The convention will return next year in October, once again at the Farm Bureau Exposition Center.